So I reached inside the drawer and pulled out a letter from 4 November 1958, 9:45 a.m., left at Paddington, Paddington postcode, Her Majesty, by airmail par avion, Mrs. R.L. Eng, Flat 3, 29 Hyde Park Gardens, London, W2, to Mr. Ransom Eng, Eng, 904 Madison Lane, Falls Church, Virginia, USA. Okay, so imagine. Telephone MA 6-4411. All communication should be addressed to the British Consulate General, not to individual members of the staff. British Consulate General, 448 South Hill Street, Los Angeles, California, Zone 13, October 28, 1958. Helen Stephens, 29 Hyde Park Gardens, London, W2, England. Re. Estate of the late Ruth Balsey Stephens, who died October 20th, 1958. Dear Madam, I have received notice that Lois McNulty has applied for letters testamentary. You are interested in the estate as a beneficiary. You should receive from the clerk of court the notice required by the law of this application, but as there is no legal obligation to send you notice of any subsequent application to the court during the administration of the estate, you will not receive any such notice until you are legally represented. The administration of the estate in California generally lasts at least a year, but sometimes continues longer, and the procedure is quite different to the British procedure. In a California administration, there are a series of different proceedings taken, each step of which, as to the matter within its scope, is treated as separate, and the adjudication of the same is final. For each step of the proceedings, application is made to the court for its sanction, and the order of the court thus obtained is generally not afterwards subject to review. If there is no opposition to the application, and the application is in proper form, the court usually grants the order prayed for. This might be to the detriment of interested parties who are not represented. It is impossible to tell in advance the condition of the estate and what proceeding may be taken during the administration. Therefore, it is advisable for British beneficiaries to have a local representative look after their interests. As this Consulate General is not equipped to deal in detail with the administration of estates, in case you should desire legal representation, this office feels confident in recommending Mr. S.T. Hankey, Pershing Square Building, 448 South Hill Street, Los Angeles 13, California, the legal advisor to this office, who is also an English barrister. Mr. Hankey's fee is 5% of the value received in the event there is no litigation. Mr. Hankey holds his appointment as legal advisor to the British Consulate General at Los Angeles with the approval of the Foreign Office, and this Consulate General feels confident in recommending him because of its knowledge of him and the experience of his work and the moderation of his fees, but it assumes no responsibility in the matter. You are, of course, perfectly at liberty to employ any other attorney of your choice, but it is suggested that the attorney should be one of whom you know to be recommended by someone whom you know, or to be recommended by someone whom you know. My office will be glad to make inquiry of the State Bar regarding any particular attorney. Kindly acknowledge the receipt of this letter and confirm that the address to which it is sent is correct. Yours very truly, Leslie A. Taylor, Her Majesty's vice-consul, HM vice-consul. A few typos. Okay. Then, ta-da, Rabba, Monday, November 3rd, 1958. Darling, it is 10:30 and dinner is of course over. Wrote this funny letter and have a copy for you. I'm sending one to Maxine to see what she makes of it. Since I believe you have seen Castros and may have discussed with them their wishes on disposition of Mother's house, I rewrote the page in Lois's letter about and left out all mention of it. She will remember my having brought it up before, and I thought I would wait for your advice before broaching it to them. We have a cocktail party invitation for November 20 from somebody named Bradley with an embassy phone number. Had a very nice day with Gladys Horton. She is rather a complicated person and wanted to talk to me. She's coming here on Thursday. Tomorrow the knitters. Wednesday Betty is having a bridge party, and then Thursday Gladys. Such a lot of trivia, and it is keeping me from getting our clothes in order and the flat cleaned. Wednesday we'll take the car to be greased, washed, and filled with antifreeze. Talked to Mary tonight. She had a nice weekend with Undie and family and said tonight a letter had come from Steve that she was sending on to me. My, it is lonely without you. When you have an idea of your return, let me know. I am sleepy and must get to bed. Incidentally, got on the wrong train to New Eltham this morning and went 40 miles into Surrey instead of Kent. Took hours and it was cold. Good night, dear. I love you. Helen.